Lordship. Very simple pair with this LPA petition, Your Lordship. May kindly revive the read petition giving with liberty to the petitioner. Lordship. May kindly revive the read petition giving with liberty to the petitioner to implicate the last selected candidate of the category of petitioners as a necessary party, and thereafter may kindly direct to the concerned read court to pass reasoned and speaking.
That's an erroneous prayer in appeal.
Lordship.
Mr. Jha, that's an erroneous prayer in appeal.
Lordship.
And perhaps you have taken this plea only for the reason that the court has taken this plea to non-suit you, to reject your petition. But that's only an additional ground.
Lordship.
The court has rejected your prayer. The single judge has gone through the entire scheme of the examination and has found that you were wrong in pressing that there was any requirement of first displaying the computer-based result and thereafter the final result. That is not the scheme. So therefore, the court has taken two-pronged approach. One, it says that there is no such requirement of the examination taking body of displaying the computer-based test result in the first instance and thereafter the final result. And then says that additionally, you have not impleted because the selection process is over. We ignore the second part of the single judge's order. Then,
Lordship, as a matter
then would you argue that?
Lordship, just I on that point before the Honorable Court, Your Lordship.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the computer-based test examination was conducted by the authorities concerned on 14 March 2020. And in that examination, petitioners and others applicants were participated, but without publishing the result of any applicant of the concerned examination, without preparing the merit list as per the guidelines given by the authorities concerned, that is part of Annexure 1.
Come to the terms of the advertisement.
Lordship.
Clause 12 and clause 13.
Lordship.
दिखाइए.
Judgment, Lordship.
कहीं से दिखाइए, आप जजमेंट से दिखाइए, एग्रीमेंट से दिखाइए, रिपोर्टेशन से दिखाइए, जहां से दिखाना दिखाइए.
Lordship,
ऐसे आपको बता दें मिस्टर झा, ये तरीका ही नहीं है रिजल्ट पब्लिश करने का. अगर तीन तरीके का रिजल्ट है, तीन तरह का मार्क्स अगर ऐड होना है, तो पहला टेस्ट हो गया कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेस्ट. जरूरत नहीं है कि उसकी रिजल्ट पहले निकाल दिया जाए, उसके बाद फिर वेरिफिकेशन होगा और उसके बाद फिर इंटरव्यू का जो मार्क्स ऐड होगा, एक फाइनल कंपोजिट लिस्ट निकलेगा, अनलेस इंडिकेटेड अदरवाइज. डे इन डे आउट मिस्टर झा, वी आर रिक्रूटिंग पीपल इन द हाई कोर्ट, right? And we see the system is like this. Now we outsource the appointment process to TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. From end to end they take the examination, right from the issuance of advertisement till the publishing of the final result. But in the process they first calculate on the basis of computer based test. The test result is given to the High Court. I mean, this is only an example for you to understand. It could be any agency. And then the result is not published, only the cutoff is fixed internally, whereafter all the documentation is done, and then the interview marks is added and final result is published. You have raised grievance only on the ground that the computer based result was not displayed on the notice board and only a final result was displayed. Now where is the requirement? Clause 12 and clause 13, which deals with चयन का आधार और चयन का तरीका. It does not specify.
Lordship.
अब इतना लंबा बहस कराएंगे तो मैं बहस कर रहा हूँ या आप बहस कर रहे हैं?
Sorry, Your Lordship, there is obvious provision in the guidelines, that is Annexure 1 of the read petition, Your Lordship. May kindly see the column 12, चयन का आधार,
जी,
in which the kindly see at read petition at page 14, Your Lordship, चयन का आधार निम्नलिखित के आधार पर मेधा सूची तैयार की जाएगी. चयन हेतु निम्नलिखित के अनुसार 100 पूर्णांक होगा. सेकंड कॉलम है एएनएम, कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेस्ट 50 मार्क एंड एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन 50 मार्क, 0.5 for each percentage of mark in essential qualification. No interview. Thereafter, now come on column 13. मेधा सूची में तय होने पर दिशा निर्देश. अंतिम रूप से सफल अभ्यर्थियों की मेधा सूची प्राप्त अंकों के आधार पर आरक्षण कोटिवार तैयार की जाएगी। 2 या 2 से अधिक अभ्यर्थियों के समान अंक प्राप्त करने की दिशा में मेधा सूची में उनके स्थान का निर्धारण उनकी जन्म तिथि के आधार पर किया जाएगा, अर्थात उनमें वरीय अभ्यर्थी मेधा क्रम में ऊपर रहेंगे। समान अंक प्राप्त करने एवं समान जन्म तिथि वाले 2 या 2 से अधिक अभ्यर्थी की दिशा में मेधा सूची में उनके स्थान का निर्धारण उनकी शैक्षणिक योग्यता के आधार पर किया जाएगा।
नहीं तो वो तो ठीक है, समझ गए। अब आपकी एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन पर और कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेस्ट पे एक कंपोजिट मार्कशीट बनेगी, वही अंतिम मेधा सूची होगी। पहले निकालना बाद में निकालना, unless you are alleging malafide.
Lordship, kindly see Annexure 5 of the writ petition at page 59. When the name of the concerned candidate will be shortlisted, there is obvious guidelines of the department concerned, Your Lordship.
Annexure 5 of the counter affidavit.
Annexure 5 of the writ petition, Your Lordship, at page 59.
Let us see where is that.
Page 59, Your Lordship, of the writ petition.
59, yes. राज्य स्वास्थ्य समिति।
लॉर्डशिप, विज्ञापन संख्या 12-19 के तहत विज्ञापित ANN।
आप पढ़ रहे हैं सर?
लॉर्डशिप, अभ्यर्थी को ऑनलाइन।
It is highly illegible, Mr. Jha. If you have a typed copy, give it to us. We can't read this. Annexure 5 series. नहीं पढ़ पाएंगे। आपके पास कॉपी हो तो बताइए। एकदम ब्लर्ड है। आपके में कॉपी है कि पेज वो रिट पिटीशन की पेज 59 निकालिए। सेकंड नहीं है। क्या दिखाना है इसमें? तो कुछ दिखता ही नहीं एक्सेप्ट कॉलम्स।
सॉरी योर लॉर्डशिप,
टाइप कॉपी प्रोवाइड करिए टुमारो। 2 पन्ने हैं।
नेक्स्ट वीक योर लॉर्डशिप।
नेक्स्ट वीक छोड़िए, 2 पन्ने। टुमारो दिक्कत होगी आपको? इतने दिनों से तो ये पेंडिंग है। सेकंड पेज देखिए।
ऑन मंडे योर लॉर्डशिप में काइंडली हर्ड दिस मैटर।
तो क्या दिखाना है इसमें? पढ़िए क्या है, देखेंगे।
लॉर्डशिप,
मैटर कहाँ?
उक्त CBT में प्राप्त अंक तथा शैक्षणिक योग्यता में प्राप्त अंकों के आधार पर क्वालिफाइड अभ्यर्थियों का मेरिट के आधार पर शॉर्ट लिस्ट किया गया।
तो जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वही तो लिखा है।
लॉर्डशिप, neither the merit list was published prior.
That's not your case. That was not the case of yours before the single judge. Let us see your prayer.
Lordship,
That's not your case.
Lordship, this is also one of the ground in the writ petition, Your Lordship.
Sorry, sir. Now let us see your prayer in the writ petition.
Lordship.
First prayer is, without going into any argument, it should have been rejected. Number 2, direction to the authorities concerned to follow the guidelines as given by the State Health Society. The guidelines you have just read. Now the computer-based test report and the marks obtained by marks obtained by a candidate on his qualification, and then the final merit list. ये कहाँ से आपने ये requirement कहाँ से खोज लिया कि कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेस्ट पहले हमें बता दे कितना है, उसके बाद तब वेरिफिकेशन करना? ये कहां से पढ़ लिया?
15 mark is assigned for the examination of the computer.
That's all right.
And 15 mark is
अरे साहब, एक ही बात को रिपीट करने से जहाँ साहब कुछ तो होगा नहीं। मैं आपको ये कह रहा हूँ कि 50 नंबर का कंप्यूटर प्रोफिशिएंसी, दिस कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेस्ट, उसके बाद आपकी जो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है, आपकी जो क्वालिफिकेशंस है, उसकी जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स आप देंगे उसके बेसिस पर रेस्ट ऑफ द मार्क्स है, और टाई होने की अवस्था में क्या करेंगे वो भी डिसाइडेड है। तो फाइनल मेरिट लिस्ट एक प्रिपेयर हो गया, आपकी पूरी की पूरी कैविल, दिस इज द what is that statement, what is that word, the major contretemps of this petitioner is that without publishing the mark sheet of the candidates which was obtained by them in the computer based test, they have taken out a final list. You have gone even before that. You say that no, cancel out the name of these persons who have been asked to furnish the documents. Unusual sa prayer hai.
Lordship, as per the guidelines of the
We are not able to find out the guidelines unless you are reading something.
When the name of the candidates for shortlisted for the document verification will be published, your Lordship.
That's an internal management.
Lordship.
Anybody obtaining marks up to 35, it is always in the ratio of 1:1 something, or 1:2:5. Now you have not conducted examination.
There is an obvious judgment of the Honorable Court with regard to that aspect, that the authorities concerned must be published the last cut-off mark with regard to the selection of the last candidate.
Final list. A beach ka this will depend upon the nature of the advertisement.
But finally that cut-off mark would not be published by the authorities concerned, your Lordship, till the joining.
We are not inclined, Mr. Jha.
No.
We are not inclined. It's a detailed order taking into account everything. Unless you have something else to say, you tell us. Are you alleging malafide that in the interregnum the marks have been tampered? You have not done that. You have not said that in your single judge's petition.
Not the petitioner could not understand that how much mark was given by the authorities concerned in the
Were you
examination.
called for depositing the documents?
Not,
Were you called for depositing the documents?
with regard to that aspect,
आपसे सवाल पूछा yes or no. आपको कहा गया अपनी क्वालिफिकेशन की डॉक्यूमेंट्स फर्निश करिए?
no, Lord.
आपको नहीं किया गया.
No.
फाइनल रिजल्ट में आपका कहाँ प्लेस है? You have not qualified.
Because that result was not published, so no information of the petitioner with regard to
Yes,
that.
who appears for the respondent?
Lordship.
Who appears for the respondent?
Respondent is
Health Department.
Lordship.
Who appears for the state? We are not inclined. We are only. The question is that what has struck this court now at this second is that what was the basis and what marks we'll ask for a sealed cover information from the department if they have maintained the records. What marks was obtained by you?
Lordship.
All right. Since you have not alleged malafides, we will presume that you were not in the category of those persons. You did not reach that cut-off level, and therefore you are not asked to deposit your documents. So let us see from them.
And when
Yes, Mr. Dwivedi, you appear for a state. Why are you sitting tight? You should come, even if this case is not allotted to you. You should. The normal courtesy demands that you should come and say that you will be informing the counsel for the state.
Sorry, my lord, I will inform the.
Mr. Sarvesh Kumar Singh, you are still the Additional Advocate General? So you should have come when the court is looking for the state. Private advocates come to the rescue of their if suppose I've seen, if I'm dismissing a petition for non-prosecution, some advocate would turn up and say that there is a problem outside, please don't dismiss it. But when I'm passing an order against the state, you being the Additional Advocate General, you are not responding. Find out. Now this is his case. Mr. Dwivedi, you make way for Mr. Singh. Now the only grievance of his is 500 persons have been appointed. Now we don't want to upturn the selection process. Now they have taken, they have joined their services. We are not doing anything about them. Whether they impede the selected persons, the last of the selected persons, we will not issue even notice to them. This is just for the satisfaction of the appellate court. Now he says that the marks obtained by any successful candidate had to be totaled up. That is, his marks in the computer-based test and the marks obtained by him during the on the academic qualification. But he says that he never could understand why he was not asked to furnish. Now we will therefore require of you to give us in sealed cover the marks obtained by him under the computer-based test. Have you understood? We are not recording it. Now tell us that he obtained only 2 marks, 5 marks, 6 marks. Naturally he will not come in the category. I am saying this, this is a simple information seeking exercise for the reason that he has not alleged any malafides. Therefore whatever marks he has obtained, he believes that it is correct. which is there with your records, and if you give that, we will, if we find that there is any tampering, we'll go after your throat. So otherwise you give the marks of the candidates.
Appropriate order may be passed, my lord.
No, we will pass that order. Look here. The petitioner, the petitioner who was one of the aspirants for being appointed as A&M, is aggrieved by the selection list on the sole ground that the result of the candidates after the computer-based test result was not published, leaving many aspirants in dark about their performance. First off, it was in this context that a grievance was raised by the appellant before the learned single judge, that for no explicable reason, the appellant and his or her likes were not asked to furnish the academic qualification certificates. First off, though the appellant has not raised any malefides, but would surely like to know as to his performance in the computer-based test. Mr. Jha, learned counsel for the appellant, has also tried to impress upon this court that in all fairness and in accordance with the scheme of the examination, the result of the candidates ought to have been displayed on the results of the candidates in the computer-based test ought to have been displayed for public consumption, and thereafter fixing the cutoff marks, candidates in particular ratio should have been asked for their academic qualification certificates. First up, that not having been done, the appellant laments that he has no idea why he has been left high and dry in the process of appointment. He further submits that the learned single judge did not consider the aforenoted argument of the appellant and dismissed the writ petition on the ground that there was no such a specific requirement in the advertisement, and that since the process of selection had already been concluded, it was incumbent upon the appellant to have impleaded the last of the selected candidates for making the writ petition viable. The learned counsel for the petitioner has submitted that in the absence of his place in the merit list, he could not have taken that exercise. He could not have undertaken that exercise. Mr. Sarvesh Kumar Singh, learned additional advocate general number
13.
Learned additional advocate general number 13, has been asked by this court to furnish the copy of the list, furnish the copy of the mark sheet of the selected candidates in sealed cover for the satisfaction of the court, for the satisfaction of this court that the process was conducted fairly. Let that be done by the next date. Re-notify on 4 weeks का समय देता.
How will I
Inform the concerned advocate of the health department, but you are responsible for this because I will be looking for you on the next date.
My lord.
Yes.